Hello, Space Drinking Specialist, and welcome to episode 17 of At the Tavern. I'm Tyler.
I'm Patrick.
And this is our second episode of our apparent TV show.
Talk show.
TV talk show. With us today we have Matt.
Of the Indie Game Alliance. Introduce
Hey
yourself.
there. Hey guys, I'm Matt Holden. I'm Executive Director of the IGA. Here with all of my stuff because I'm moving next week. And good to see y'all.
All right,
Matt. Thank you for that, and let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So, about Space Tavern Games. We have a freaking Indiegogo going on, but who cares?
Apparently nobody cares.
Tyler.
Well, Murphy's updates will be coming back soon.
After we actually finish, we're actually in the process of getting actual funding from various investors right now, so that's kind of where our focus is at.
Yeah. So bear with us. We'll be back with those shortly-ish.
Probably next week we'll start that back up.
Yeah, as soon as we can get through all this red tape and paperwork and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, and we're also going to have Cast and Capture this week as our review. That'll be us getting back to the updates on the website, so pay attention for that.
Should be fun. Should be a good time.
Yeah, and
Our good friend Ben of Randover Games sent it to us ASAP.
it's glorious and beautiful.
He wasn't lying when he was talking about the artwork. It's pretty gorgeous. It's pretty beautiful.
Do you want me to go up and show it to him because you're broken?
Yeah.
Just give me the cards.
Give you the box too.
I don't want the damn box.
Well, while we do that, we're still in development with our other games. Keep posted on those too.
Catacombs and Cataclysms.
And
Oh yeah, my favorite card. A wild element appears.
Ooh.
So that's just a little sneak peek there for you for Cast and Capture.
Thank you, Matt.
Full assortment of things coming soon. Mainly pictures of the artwork.
New artist, which is awesome. She's going to be doing all of our artwork from here on out. She's going to be signing a contract with us to do just our art exclusively and no one else's, which is pretty awesome.
She's also revamping our logo.
Yeah, we're going to have a new logo. It's going to be great, even though I really enjoy the space helmet with Viking horns.
Well, I think you should update it. I think it's still going to be a space helmet with horns. I think she's just going to update it.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
So, yeah, I think that's what else we got.
We have a lot, really. We have a lot going on.
So I think we covered all the things we're doing. It's just we don't have anything really majorly new, other than we're getting investors, which would be.
Yeah, the investors is pretty huge.
I can quit my job, which would be awesome.
Well, this will be full time.
Yes.
That's what it means.
Yes.
For both of us.
Yeah, rather than a part-time thing, if it's a full-time thing, I quit my other job. Live the dream.
The dream, sir. The dream. Matt, any questions on your end?
Comments, concerns?
I mean, you guys are, it's your show. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do. And
We like to promote intelligent conversation and thought here. So if you have anything you'd like to say.
Invited the wrong guest.
What?
Probably invited the wrong guest.
Oh, well. Rats.
Well, we believe it.
Rats, boiled again.
I guess we just move into the...
Yeah, I guess it's time to turn the burners on, light the fires, and
start grilling. All right. So, Matt, why don't you start off telling us what the Indie Game Alliance is?
Sure. So we started this off about a year ago now, a year in April. And what we do is we work with independent tabletop publishers and designers to try to help their games get to market. So for some people, that means the game's already done on Kickstarter, or we're helping with like retail, wholesaling to retailers and demos. For some folks, they're earlier in the process and they need help with the Kickstarters, that. For some folks, they're still in the middle of playtesting, news revision, so forth. We do that too. So what we try to do is kind of be an incubator for this small company, kind of help them get going and help them live the dream. So, that's it.
Awesome. So you said you got started about a year ago. How did it start? What?
So I was a demo rep for Steve Jackson Games. I was a mid for a while, and that was fun. But I decided I wanted to kind of branch out, do something a little different. I reached out to otherwise gaming behind Cosmos, and I asked them if they had a program. They said no. I said, "Would you like me to start one for me?" So we talked about that for a while, and kind of the hang-up was, what do you do for rewards for volunteer to demo the game? Because they can demo one monster a million times, and when they're done, it's like, we'll give you another copy of Austin, because that's all we got. So our thought process at that point was, if we got another couple of companies in, then you could demo one company's game and use your reward points to get company B's game, and so forth. We were hoping we could end up with 5 companies. As of this morning, we're at 231.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's a feat. That's like a feat of strength. Festivus.
That's 230.
Well, I'm glad we're at the feats of strength, because we've definitely had the airing of grievances.
Do you have any grievances you would like to air right now?
Yes, it is impossible to find a house in Orlando. Apparently, the city is full. I've been trying for a week, but looks like I finally found a place this afternoon, so here's open.
Well, there you go.
They're doing a credit check as we speak, so God help me.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
So, you don't develop games. You promote them.
I actually do have 2 that are in extremely early development. Like, they don't have a name yet. But my primary focus right now is to help game developers get their stuff out and about. One day my playtesters will get a game that doesn't have a name on it, and it'll be mine. And I don't want to tell them it's mine because I don't want them to think they have to be nice to me. So
you should box it in like a leather-bound box and ship it to them.
We actually had somebody do that. One of our Orlando studios, a guy named Patrick Siebert, made a game called Seizure Verdun that came in like a treasure chest. It was really, really badass.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you should mark it with some satanic symbols, I would say. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Maybe like some Norse runes or something. Maybe we could summon Thor.
Mjolnir.
I'm hoping while Thor's here, he can help me move my furniture into the truck.
We have done quite a lot of that ourselves recently.
Well, if I'm leaving in 3 days. If you can get the car now, I'll be here.
See, but the thing is, Matt, we made a promise to ourselves that we would actually never physically move someone ever again. We would pay people from now on.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's just too much, man.
It is not fun. My brother and various other folks in my life have been lobbying to leave all my furniture behind and buy new stuff when I get there.
It's not always a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's not. But I was impressed by the amount of stuff that was in that small house.
Yeah, right?
I was just, where's it all coming from? It's never ending.
This is the side effect of all of us having played Tetris as kids. We just got really good at cramming stuff in small spaces.
It's funny you mentioned Tetris because my mom was a champion Tetris player. My
mom was too. I still have a collect video game console, and I still have my mother's Game Boy with her copy of Tetris in it.
My dad was in the Air Force, so he spent at one point he was in Ramstein. I think it was Ramstein. It was somewhere in Germany. I'm pretty sure it was Ramstein. But my mom just started playing Tetris on the N64 or whatever I think it was just Nintendo at that point.
I was going to say,
Tetris.
N64 was not out while your parents
Well, she just started playing Tetris, and my dad's like, I'm going to go to bed, get some sleep in the morning. My dad comes down in the morning, and my mom is still playing Tetris.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't, it was like crack. You couldn't let it go.
Yeah, so my mom, shout out to you, you're a champion Tetris player. your inspiration.
You know what else is like crack here at Space Tavern Games? Red Bull.
Yeah,
It gives us wings.
and coffee, because when you can't afford the Red Bull.
Hold on, man. This is our Red Bull spotlight.
All right. It's all about the Red Bull.
I didn't get the memo, so I'm going Rockstar.
How dare you show that on our show?
Well,
Great Rockstar.
Red Bull may give you wings, but this doesn't taste like ass. So that's
Back up.
You shut your mouth.
well. I have to
Do not ruin this possible Red Bull sponsorship for us.
And first of all, our taste buds are so attuned to Red Bull now. Like when we drink other energy drinks, we're like, this sucks.
Crap.
Well, that's the thing. You've just basically seared your taste buds off completely. They're just gone now.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Oh yeah. So, what are some obstacles you've had to overcome as the Indie Game Alliance?
So the big problem is that what we're doing has never been done before. So, we're trying, we try something and then we find out, okay, that just doesn't work. And, our members have been very understanding of us when we send out an email and we're like, here's our policy, here's what we're going to do. And then 3 weeks later, we're like, change your mind, I got this now. So, we're still kind of learning as we go. But fortunately, our members have been very good about offering suggestions and helping out with the game. Including you guys. Shout out to you for all the work that Patrick's been doing helping us. So, we've been lucky that we've had a bunch of people who have treated it as a community and have kind of given back to us a little bit too to help us out. So that's one. The other big thing is that when I started a business, I probably should have thought a little bit about the fact that my target clients really are kind of broke. So that makes things a little rough for us because I had somebody that when we started the alliance, we always said hey studios, you want to join the alliance because you can't afford to go to every trade show and you can't afford every convention and you can't afford to ship stuff all over the country and everything else. And then I had somebody in my life say, so you said that basically no indie company can do that, so why are you trying? It's getting better. I think as we've kind of been around a little bit longer, we've built some success stories, and that's every time we do right by somebody, it builds confidence for the next person, and so forth. And it's getting to a point of where people have heard of us a little bit, and we're starting to build a reputation. So hopefully that'll help out going forward.
That's good to hear, man. That's really good to hear. How about some lows? What are some definite hardships you've had to go through?
There's one of the big things is that because we're starting from nothing, there's a certain amount of hoops you have to jump through to kind of get into the limelight, so to speak. So, for example, it's tough to get a booth at Gen Con if you've never been before. It's tough to get be able to afford things. And it's like, people are like, do you have business cards? And I was like, whoa, that's too rich for our blood. Vistaprint now, woo. So, that's a bit of a challenge. We've basically been relying on the help and support of our studios. And so it's like, we need a graphics designer. Do we have a graphics designer? Yes. Hooray. And then the next week it's like, we need this thing. Do we have it? Nope. Oh, okay. So, that's the biggest part is just trying to cobble the team together a little bit. Recruiting is always a thing that they're doing, trying to kind of fill in the gaps a little bit. And it's getting better. We're up to about 170 reps now.
Wow.
We've got 2 reps and studios. We're active on 67 continents. And I will get a penguin at one point. I will complete the set.
Get a penguin.
Well, we're actually talking to a guy in Antarctica for a while, and we lost contact with him. Maybe he froze, but...
No, I can tell you what happened to him. He was probably Norwegian on an Antarctic expedition, and he was fleeing the thing, and he got killed.
He was actually Australian.
And
probably killed by some gigantic Arctic spider.
Possible, or I mean, maybe he just found the second Stargate and just left, said peace out. But the game he was going to make was about how difficult it is to get stuff to Antarctica, and I was like, well, how bad is it really? And he said, well, they sent us a supply ship. That ship got stuck in the ice. So then they sent another supply ship. That ship hit a whale. So then they sent a third ship. The third ship picked up the people from the first two ships, but there wasn't enough room for the supplies, so we left them there. Then we sent a fourth ship to get the supplies, while a fifth plane flew over and parachuted some supplies. When they parachuted it, they missed the ice that it was supposed to land on, and it slid into the ocean.
Wow.
And to which my response was, "Why do you live there? just leave."
Yeah.
And apparently they have to do ice research, and I was like, do that in Canada, and then you're a 20-minute drive to Montreal. You can go into town, get a steak, it'll be fine.
That is
Catch some hockey.
that is the.
Well,
Let
me say, you actually can't catch some hockey because as of about 3 minutes ago, the Canadian season is over. Go Lightning.
Oh wow.
Go Ducks.
Flying.
So aside from you trying to get a rep on Antarctica, which I'm sure you'll accomplish someday, even if you have to go down there yourself and pin a badge to a polar bear.
That's not happening. That's not happening. For one thing, polar bears are North Pole, and two damn cold. That will not be occurring at all. I am, however, we do have copies of a game from Asmodi called Mr. Banana that's just 3 cards, and I'm trying to get one of those sent up to the International Space Station.
Oh my God! You should send me to the International Space Station because then I will be the happiest person to have ever lived ever.
Well, yeah, the problem is we sent you up on the most recent shuttle, you would have burned up in the atmosphere because apparently the Russians missed land at the International Space Station a couple days ago.
Well, if you need somebody to carry the cargo to the International Space Station,
I will call you.
gladly volunteer.
I will call you. As a matter of fact, you should bring like a couple of bottles of beer, and then you can actually set up a space tavern.
Done. Done.
Did you mention that to your investors? Because I feel like that could be what's holding you up.
This all right. So any potential investors watching the show, I could actually set up a space tavern if you would be so kind as to send me to the space station with alcohol.
You might need to ask for a little bit more money if you want to actually build.
Just a little bit more, or maybe use your connections.
Maybe you could just like caulk all the openings in like one of those like the portable storage units and just like cut a hole in the front of it. And, dispense beer to like passing, artisans.
That would be a dream come true to go to space. We could do it at the tavern where you're on the ground and I'm in space.
Screw that! I'm going to space with you.
I'll be upside down the whole time because I can do that.
I'm going to space with you, sir. Actually, we'll take over Ceres and build our space tavern there out in the asteroid belt, and they'll be like,
we'll terraform the planet with technology that's way, way beyond where we are right now.
I mean, I'm convinced the first thing we build on the moon is going to be either McDonald's or a Walmart. So.
Waffle House.
A Waffle House.
Waffle House. Waffle House.
The Waffle House at the end of the universe. I'm down.
There's a story in here somewhere.
And then when we get attacked by the damn aliens, they're going to stop at Waffle House, eat our crappy food there, and just turn around and go home and be like, there's nothing more we can do here. They've doomed themselves.
I don't know about that. I mean, they might eat Waffle House and then decide they need to come down here and avenge themselves on us.
Like that dad who died from brain cancer and in his obituary told his son to avenge his death. That is awesome.
All right, so, Matt, why don't you tell us...
Where are you going with that
I
one?
lost my question.
I can tell you
about
things. I like cheese. Snorkel.
Would you tell us a little bit about where the Indie Game Alliance is on its 5-year plan or whatever plan you have, and what you have coming up in the future, what you want to come up in the future as well?
So some of the big stuff, we had really wanted for 2015 to be a year where we ramped up our convention presence a lot. Due to some stuff that's going to slowed us down a little bit, we've had to kind of, we've done a little bit better than we did in 2014, but not as well as I would have liked. But I think we're positioning ourselves well to do more of that kind of going into next year. We've also been building a lot of we've been kind of formalizing stuff within our team a little bit. We've added our mini bosses, which are regional directors that are kind of helping out with our with making sure our minions know where they're supposed to be and going to convention.
You should make us as mini bosses, or give us like rank in your Imperial Alliance.
We can talk about that. I don't mind. We can see what we can do about that. But I'll tell you what.
He's a Moff.
Well, here's the thing. We've got regional stuff, so you guys build your tavern in space, and then I will give you the entire Kuiper Belt. It can be all you guys.
Yes.
We actually want the entire universe outside of Earth.
Well, I mean, the universe is kind of big. You can have. I'll tell you what. You can have Gallifrey as long as you let me crash on your couch.
We'll have to get back
Space
to you on
couch?
that one.
Or space couch?
You mean where you Velcro yourself to the couch?
Maybe you're into that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, zero gravity.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're on some sort of, celestial body, you'll have some sort of gravity.
We'd like to think no, if it's small enough.
If it's small enough, I mean, if you build your couch, on an asteroid or something, maybe not. But
build it on a comet, dude.
there you go. Just strap a couch to the side of that Philae probe that ESA dropped on that comet.
So we put some fucking aluminum over it, and we're fine.
So,
He said it.
now that we've officially derailed this conversation,
Well, yeah. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
we have jumped the tracks, launched into orbit, and now we're somewhere in the Kuiper Belt.
Oh yeah, we're talking about our Waffle House.
The Waffle House, the end of the universe.
Waffle
We
House.
should actually apply for a franchise and put
Moon is the location.
franchise approved. First space franchise.
I mean, hey, Pizza Hut delivered to the ISS a couple years ago.
Yeah, except they delivered. They don't have a Pizza Hut in space.
I think a lot on a limb and say that shit did not get there in 30 minutes or less. I would have asked for my money back.
It was probably for free, honestly.
I still would have asked for my money back. I'd have been, I want the $20 million for the rocket back.
I hope they got a good tip.
Yeah, but it was in rubles because it was mostly a Russian crew at the time.
Hold on.
You looking it up?
No, I don't care about whatever I'm supposed to look up. But here's a big shout out to our one person watching for still hanging with us here.
Yeah, even though
Whoever you are, I hope we're entertaining you. And
our obvious shout out to Mike Gilmer,
of course,
STG's #1 fan.
Mike Get It Gilmer. And a big shout out to Matt Holden, wherever he may be.
He's in Florida for another 4 days.
So tell us about how people can join the Indie Game Alliance.
It's really easy. You go to our website. There's 2 different join forms. There's one if you want to become a minion, which is one of our volunteers. There's another one if you want to join as a designer or a publisher. You guys have actually done both, so you're very familiar with those. So at least Patrick is. I don't know if you are, Tyler. But it's a web form. It's not that different from most other web forms. The most complicated question on it is your address. We do generally ask you to sacrifice a chicken afterwards, but that's only because I'm hungry. So, you sacrifice it and then barbecue it.
Well, I sacrificed a cow, and we had steak and other beef.
Outstanding. I'm looking forward to that once I move. All of my cookware is packed already, so I'm.
I smuggled in a Kobe cow, and then I slaughtered it and had Kobe steaks.
By himself.
Okay.
You were there.
An entire Kobe cow.
Yep, still alive. Then I murdered it.
That wasn't very nice.
And then Peter loses his shit. These guys on this tabletop gaming talk show talked about murdering a cow they didn't actually kill, and then we got so butthurt about it, we started a campaign to tear them down. Please do, bring the publicity.
There's actually a restaurant in Boston that one of my best friends wants to take me to. It's not in Boston, but somewhere in the birds outside of Boston. Where like if you're the first person to the restaurant, it's a restaurant with a farm in the back. And if you're the first one there for the day, you actually get to go in the back and pick the cow, and then they kill the cow, and then they serve it for the remainder of the evening.
We have to go there.
We need to be first in line.
I'm wondering if they actually, like, if you get there early enough, if they actually, like, give you a katana and like take out the cow.
Actually, I don't know if you're familiar with how they kill cattle, but it's a CO2 gun, and you press it to the temple, and it rams a rod straight through their skull. It's pretty cool.
I hate when that happens.
I just like to eat beef. I'll let you do it.
Me too. Yeah. Cows are delicious.
I'll get my Ron Swanson on. Start taking. I don't have a book.
Like gun in one hand, holding the camera out here, just be like,
with like a napkin around my neck.
Do a bowl and then use the horns to make a selfie stick.
Yeah, I would like its bones to go home with me.
what?
Yep, I asked for them.
Turn the spine into a selfie stick.
What is that? It's my cow spine.
It's my selfie stick, duh.
And on that note,
What are some of your most favorite games that you've got to bring into the fold of the Alliance?
well, we have a bunch of them. I'm really digging Dungeon Roll from Tasty Minstrel right now. I'd say probably my favorite Alliance game, and I know that there's. Well, as soon as I say this, there's going to be 230 other studios that are like, "You didn't pick me, why?"
Well,
But,
that should tell them something.
So, but our game of the year last year was one called the Ginger Dead House, which is actually a tower defense card game made by a little company called Make Game here in Tampa. They were up on Kickstarter. They fell just short last year. And, I hear or tell they're going to be coming up again soon, and it's a phenomenal game. I've also heard some good things about this. What is it? Catacombs and Cataclysms or something, but I haven't got to play it yet, so it could be crap. I don't know.
As of right now, it is crap because it hasn't been play tested, didn't work out or anything like that. So right now it is crap.
Yeah, it has a great story.
It has a great storyline, great writing. If I do say so myself. But we work hard on it. It'll get there.
What do you people expect from us?
What do you want from us?
A gold brick?
God damn it, we're doing 7 things at once. What do you want?
We don't have time to play test a game. We're busy sitting in the basement talking to Matt in Florida.
Duh, because all we do is sit here. I go to work.
Like Wayne's World, the tabletop games.
Oh my god.
That is what we said after our first episode.
We're the Wayne's World of tabletop gaming.
Which is perfect.
We now need whatever we have enough money to build a set needs to be an exact replica of the Wayne's World set.
Well, see, that's what I was talking about. If once we get all of our money, and for when we start doing this, because freaking Board Game Geek, they declared us not a podcast because we're like a TV talk show. That we're gonna set it up like an actual late show, and then if people are able to, they can come in, or we'll just do this, except in our actual set, and we'll have a thing here where we can be clapping and all sorts of other stuff.
The click button.
Radio stations going out of business left and right. You could probably get one of those things on eBay. But
you can actually, I actually did a little bit of research on this before. You can actually rent major props from major studios, and you can even actually rent studios from places like that.
See, what I think you guys ought to do is build your studio inside a U-Haul, and then just do the Space Tavern Roadshow, and just drive around and pull up in my front yard like a food truck, and I'll go out and talk to you for an hour, and then just get in the car, drive down to Miami, interview somebody else, and just keep the whole thing going that way.
You're a freaking genius.
That's
and then you could roll up on conventions and stuff, and then just kind of interview
ever.
Tweet that before somebody else takes it.
Yeah. Well,
you can totally score an RV for $15,000, and then just roll around. And then what you got to do though is you get the RV. You've also got to get a nice truck that plays the music, and you're selling games out the back of it.
All right, so Space Tavern Games is now no longer building a storefront, at least for the first year. We're going to go do Tabletop Roadshow. That's actually a great idea.
If you guys come down and visit me in Orlando, we'll do one in the parking lot of Disney World.
That would be amazing. And people will be like, "What is this stupid show we're watching?" The back of you.
Like, wait a minute. Oh, this can't happen.
We'll get giant Disney or Mickey ears for the truck.
That'd be outstanding. You know, what you got to do though is make the ears out of like tin foil, so they're obviously fake, and just write like totally Disney and just like spray paint it on the side of the sticker. You know, or like a free candy sign on the side of it.
Free Disney. Oh man!
Put like cross lightsabers.
I think this is shaping up to be a great idea. Tell our investors.
Yeah,
we need
should.
a little bit more money so we can do this.
Yeah.
Tabletop Roadshow. Oh man.
And then what you guys do, if you go all Celtic Pride and like see if you can pull up and like kidnap Will Wheaton.
Oh man, I don't think Will Wheaton would probably fucking just come on for
Yeah.
the hell of it.
Board Game Jesus would totally join us.
Yes, Patrick and I decided last week that Will Wheaton is hereby dubbed Tabletop Jesus.
I can dig it. I can dig
Well,
it.
I mean,
He'd be down.
he's got the beard going. We got to know him at a young age. You know, I mean, it could work.
Disappeared for a while after Star Trek.
He's also like really skinny.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
It could
fits
work.
the emaciated Jesus.
Yeah. Tabletop Jesus. It's done.
Like Will Wheaton's gonna watch this and be like, I'm not skinny. Then he goes and does steroids. Next time we see him,
Wheaton smash.
it'll be South Park. Jesus does HGH. Will Wheaton. Perfect.
He'll be on the next Avengers. It won't even be as a character. It'll just be like the Hulk and Iron Man and Will Wheaton.
Yeah. Who are you, mighty warrior?
Will Wheaton.
I feel like at that point his special move could be the Wesley Crush. I just want all the other Avengers to look at him and be like, "Shut up, Wesley."
Oh man.
Yes.
Well, I don't have any more questions from Matt. Do you have anything else you want to cover with him?
Matt, is there anything else you would like to talk about tonight, sir?
Specifically about the Indie Game Alliance that we didn't already ask about.
Or anything gaming related?
I mean, I'm pretty good. You covered most of the big stuff. You know, if you're out there and you're trying to make a game and you need help, give us a call. If you love games and you want to teach people games, and then have us give you a bunch of free games for doing that, and then you get to have more free games, we do that too. So definitely hit up our website. Our website isn't that good. We're working on a new one. So, funny story, we put the website up in a weekend as a mock-up to show Brotherwise, and then by the time we got that done, within a week we had so many studios that we had to just kind of make that website work. So we've been operating on the mock-up site for a year and a half.
Oh wow.
One day the real site will be done, and it will be awesome, and it will have a store on it.
Yeah, how's that store coming along?
I don't know. I'll have to talk to the guy that's working on our store, but I
Have you sent me
haven't
more
seen the
work that I'm
contact.
unaware about?
What?
Have you sent me more work that I'm unaware about?
No, I have to look at it, and I haven't had time because I've been boxing up my life this week.
So we can include the audience in this one. Pat is the guy that's doing their store.
Yeah.
Is the joke.
Yeah.
Space Tavern Games.
Space
Also
Tavern
known as
Games is
this
doing
guy.
the store.
Yes, he is doing the store, and we thank him for that very, very much because I've been trying to do one for a long time, and I've been looking at it.
Yeah, and I knocked it out in 4 hours.
You did knock it out in 4 hours. So,
So with that as our thing to move in transit, as that is our segue, it's time to move into the news that we've found.
Space Sword.
Yeah, apparently there actually is a Japanese katana made out of meteorite
Yeah, from space.
or space sword.
as opposed to a meteorite made from Jersey.
If it was made from Jersey, it'd be of everyone's soulless despair.
I'm from Jersey.
Kind of. From Germany.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned about there being a sword made out of them. You're right. I feel like that there's some sort of a horrible plot for like Heroes or X-Men or something in there somewhere.
Probably.
It'll be on the next Marvel movie.
The biggest news that I want to talk about is that Marvel's toy line for the new Avengers movie has completely kicked Black Widow out of it. For the blog, I should say, the other. But the scene where she drops out of the Quinjet, for spoiler alert, anybody watching, she drops out of the Quinjet on a motorcycle.
It's in the trailer. You can probably talk about it.
Yeah. They've replaced it with Captain America on some souped up motorcycle, and there's another one with Iron Man. Like, I just...
Well, let's talk about all the ways that Captain America is a flaming douchebag.
His superpower is steroids.
1. 2, he's Captain Frickin' America with steroids. There's nothing like superly heroic about some scrawny kid.
In a way, it works, I guess, because America's favorite pastime is baseball, and baseball's favorite pastime is steroids. So it kind of works.
Now you're just dissing our sport of baseball.
Whatever.
But seriously,
Bucky
he's not that cool.
Winter Soldier is way cooler.
Yes. And he's a sidekick.
But the fact that they're going to... The thing that bothers me the most is that there's all this talk about gender equality, especially in the gaming world and in the movie world, and the idea that, you know, women are always portrayed in these scantily clad outfits, which, by the way, I think Black Widow's outfit through the show or the movies has been very conservative, I guess, or very appropriate for, instead of it just being, you know, like pieces of it missing or, you know, chainmail bikinis or whatever. But the fact that they're going to take
chainmail
away...
bikinis give you the same stats as a full set of mail.
Not the point I'm trying to make.
Has two of them.
I do. They look amazing on me.
I'm certain.
The point I'm trying to make is that if you want to have gender equality, why would Marvel, one of the biggest companies now, drop one of the most predominant female characters from its own scene in a movie that's in toy?
Well, I mean, and it goes beyond that. They've been following everything that's been going on around the movie. So apparently, Joss Whedon himself was making some comments that blew things up a couple of days ago.
I just summoned Walt Disney to ask him.
Jeremy Renner and Chris Evans, as captain, were basically went on talk shows and said Black Widow's a slut. Then there's this. There's been no mention of Scarlet Witch in the advertisement, also a female. You know, and on top of that, there was a leaked email from a Marvel executive a couple of days ago that basically said the reason we've never made a movie with a female superhero lead is because nobody cares about them and nobody wants to watch them. So, you know, all of it together is kind of giving Marvel kind of a black eye with all of this. And it's completely unnecessary because, you know, Black Widow is kind of a badass. You know, if you want to omit an Avenger, freaking Hawkeye sucks. He has no power at all. It's like, I'm awesome with an arrow until I run out of the 5 arrows I brought, and then I get to stand here and get saved by Iron Man.
He's kind of dissing the Marvel version of your boy.
Yeah, he's just not my boy. That's the important thing. But he brings up a good point, is that I think one of the most exciting and interesting storylines in the Age of Ultron movie was Natasha's background and her as a character, where she's just a freaking badass.
Yeah,
I think, and
the other thing is that a lot of people don't mention with her is it's like you look at Iron Man, he's got his awesome suit, and you've got Hulk who's got his power, and Thor who's God, and everything else. And Natasha's power is Natasha. You know,
it's all her. It's hard-earned work that she had. Well, it was forced labor, but it was still, she had to work hard for what she has, and that's impressive. That's something that you can teach to a young boy, that she is a badass because she went through all this work and did everything that she needed to do. And just because she's a female doesn't mean she's any less than Captain America, who, you know.
Well, Captain America is below
Captain
everyone.
America, because she actually earned it. She didn't just get, you know, a needle and there you go.
Yeah. And she's one of, like, the best assassins to ever exist in the universe. So,
but they don't want to portray her in that light because.
Well, they did in the first Avengers movie where she's got that.
Well, yeah, because they did that right.
Yeah, just and I don't know. It's really upsetting that they would cut her out of it.
And the thing is, it's upsetting because it was completely needless. It wasn't like, oops, we forgot to make a Black Widow toy. It was actively replacing her. It wasn't like, it'd be one thing if it was like, where's the Quinjet toy? Why didn't you make one? But then they made one, and then they remove her from the toy. It makes no sense at all. I almost want to go look and see if they've made toys out of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because the only badass in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is Melinda May, and it's like, did you bother to make an action figure for her? Or do we just get the mask?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. It's just like how we talked about that stupid bill first. No one cared until the news picked it up, but we talked about it first.
Yeah. Oh, the gender or the quality for
SB 101.
SB 101 in Indiana.
Oh, look, another dumb Assassin's Creed game. The shit just made Black Flag 2 and made me happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got Unity. It's still pretty unplayable. I mean, we have been looking for a game done. Assassin's Creed is my favorite series, so I will talk about that. But we have been looking for a Victorian England one for a long time, so I'm kind of glad to see it. Assassin's Creed, though, has been frustrating because even they've been giving us a lot of trouble with female characters.
I'd honestly love to have I mean, I know that Desmond wasn't a female, so playing a female character as a male would be interesting.
But
I think having a female protagonist in an Assassin's Creed world would be awesome.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they've done it twice, but both times they got subjected to crap. I mean, the first time was Assassin's Creed Liberation, which, in my opinion, is one of the best ones in the series, with Alain. And that game was great, and it was like on PS Vita, which like 8 people have a PS Vita. They finally put it on the 360. I played it there, and it was phenomenal. But then everybody's been clamoring ever since the last Ezio game. Everybody's wanted a game with Xiao Jun, the assassin that comes to him in Embers. And then they made one, and it was like a 2.5D side scroller that played like Bionic Commando. And
sorry,
I can tell which one of you has actually played Bionic Commando, because you're like, yeah, I know Bionic Commando, and Tyler's over here like,
But I do that face every once in a while. I'll just be,
But it's like, they could have, people have been asking for a Xiao Jun game since for 3 or 4 years now. People have been asking for a game based in China or Japan since the first Assassin's Creed. And then when they put it together, it's like, well, you can have this half-ass game because we're going to focus on more white dudes from Europe.
Yeah.
Because we all need more white dudes from Europe.
Well, yeah, and it's like, we got the Russian white dude with Rogue, and then we got all kinds of French white dudes in Unity, and then we got English white dudes with 3, and then we go over there, and it's like, now we give you a half white dude with Connor or Rodonegano. We'll give you a guy who's kind of mad at himself for not being completely white for some reason.
I hate my heritage.
Everything else. And then it's like, now we're back to Jacob in Assassin's Creed Salvation.
Hold on. Let's talk about why they would think that setting a game in France would be a great game to push in America. It's not. Just my 2 cents.
America hates France.
France hates America. I mean, it's a
Even though
mutual.
France made
Ubisoft is based in Montreal. So, they actually like France there.
Yeah.
So, but, why can't we go back? I mean, literally, the word assassin is an Arabic word. Why can't we go back?
The first one, he was Arabic.
Yeah, and when you played him, it was like, he was completely wooden because he couldn't even skip it. AC1 is basically unplayable after you've played AC2. You got Altair back for about 15 minutes in like a dream sequence in Assassin's Creed Revelation, but never had that. why can't I have an Egyptian? Give me how bad would it be to parkour up a pyramid? Come on now.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Like assassinate Moses.
Give me. I mean, we had, and then, the other thing. This is the first Assassin's Creed game we've had in a while where you actually get to be at least an assassin. With Black Flag, it's like, no, he's not an assassin. With Unity, it was like, maybe. Rogue, he's not an assassin, and it's just if they're gonna just make all these games of just random people parkouring all over everything, make that and give me a Zorro game. Give me a Zorro game where I can climb up and jump down on my horse and do all the cool stuff from the '80s Zorro thing where you attack somebody and cut him and his pants fall off and stuff. It's like that was fun back then.
Lone Ranger, that'd be fun.
Lone Ranger'd be great. Exactly.
It'd be way better than that crappy movie with Johnny Depp.
So
Johnny Depp sucks.
Moral of this story: Ubisoft, get your shit together.
They're turning into EA.
Oh no!
So everyone's turning into EA.
Well, no, you got EA buying everybody.
You gotta make lots of money.
In another 10 years, it'll be like, oh yeah, all the restaurants are Taco Bell. Every game is EA.
I would actually not complain if all the restaurants were Taco Bell.
I would. I can only eat so much Taco Bell.
Yeah, the amount of Taco Bell I can eat is basically none.
I can have Taco Bell. I can have Taco Bell, regular meal Taco Bell. But eating Taco Bell consistently, you probably get tired of the food.
I'd be fine with Taco Bell and Burger King.
I don't think I'd ever be able to take a dump regularly either.
I mean, maybe if you go to one of those 3-in-1 Yum restaurants, the Kentaco Hut.
I love Kentaco Hut, sir. I miss Kentaco Hut. They used to have a 24-hour Kentaco Hut where I used to live. It was awesome.
It was still
I get a personal pan pizza, my tacos, and some chicken.
Just get a pan pizza and fold it in half. Now it's a taco.
At least I have my chicken.
Leroy Jenkins. There is a dentist down here named Leroy Jenkins, and he has billboards all over town, and it's got his name real big. And every time I drive by it, I got to do that.
Quick nostalgia moment here for everybody. That video is 10 years old now.
What?
2005.
God, I feel old.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I was like, man, how old was I? Oh yeah, I was 17.
Man, that was great. In drama news in the tabletop world, Dust Studios no longer is distributing through Battlefront because Battlefront apparently refused to pay their for the items that they were supposed to ship out. So Dust Studios has now decided to say F you Battlefront and is going off on their own.
Man, you don't pay for something you want. Wow, that's weird.
Well, Dust is apparently, according to the open letter, it says they just had to cancel their Kickstarter and have people refunded. It says, during these 4 weeks, Dust Studios has been bullied and blackmailed instead, with Battlefront demanding the impossible from us in order for them to fulfill their obligations. They've asked us to pay them for editing and graphic design work their staff did on our rulebook, demanding a fee of over $100,000 US.
What?
Can we start charging $100,000
by Dr. Evil?
Hey, Matt, check your inbox in the morning. I'm going to send you an invoice. I'm kidding.
for editing? $100,000. Yep.
I'm just kidding.
That'll come out to about $22,000 for every item you added to the store.
They also go on to say they requested.
No? What? Redo your math there.
I'm talking about ones that I still have because I've been sending a bunch of games out to Minions because I'm looking at it. It's like, do I want to mail this now or do I want to put it on a moving truck in a week?
They go on to say they've requested they buy back their stock, the stock that was eventually paid for to the factoring bank precisely with the revenue from the Babylon campaign Kickstarter. So what they did is they took all of the Kickstarter money and instead of doing it for the things they needed to do it with, in order to try to settle things with Battlefront, they used all the Kickstarter money to pay that, which sucks because that means that they would have had to anyway.
Hey, Remember that time you kind of were like spitballing around like a WWE game? Gale Force 9 just announced one.
Nice. Yeah.
Superstar Showdown.
Do we can make my own superstar?
Probably not.
Tabletop Jesus Christ Superstar.
Nope. You don't get to make your own superstar.
Boo. And CM Punk's probably not in there. We all know he's the best wrestler. Also, for those of you out there, Gen Con has released its events list.
Indie Game Alliance will be there.
Yes, we're in booth 2827.
2827. I don't remember that. We might be able to go this year.
Maybe. We good.
You guys can come to an At the Tavern in our booth.
Ooh, we would.
That would be so awesome. Welcome to episode 19 of At the Tavern. Meanwhile, you can't hear us talking because there's a million people here.
It actually works out pretty well. You get a directional microphone, it works out okay. We've done some stuff like that before.
We should try to do that because then we can go around the convention and try to find somebody famous to be on our thing.
There's a Batman miniature game?
What?
There's a Batman everything game. I can't believe there's not a Batman Munchkin yet.
There's a what?
I said I can't believe something about Batman.
I can't believe there's not a Batman Munchkin yet. And now that I've said that, Philip Reed is the one guy listening right now, and he's going, "Oh my God, they know!"
They know. See, look, now we don't have any viewers now. They know. They think we know. So they're like, we gotta throw it under wraps. We got over there anything interesting?
Maybe. I'm still looking for stuff. Oh, look. Yay. The Wiener Show gets its own edition of
I was like, the
games.
Wiener Show, and then I realized you're talking about Game of Thrones.
Wiener.
Oh.
You're not a Game of Thrones fan, are you?
Am I?
Yeah.
Actually, I tried to be. My ex wanted me to get into it, and the second episode, they killed a dire wolf, and I can't watch any show where you kill a dog. I got to turn it off. And after that, I was like, "Oh, I'm done. They could kill 10,000 people. I don't care. You kill a dog, I'm out."
So it wasn't all like the Wieners that turned you off from it?
You probably stopped watching before all the Wieners happened.
Yeah, there really wasn't any wieners yet. So, well, if you guys are struggling to find some news, I have some.
Oh, hit us with it.
Lay it on.
I'd actually like, if you guys don't mind, to call out a couple of crowdsourcing or crowdfunding things we got going on.
We're one. Go ahead.
Yes, you are one. You guys are on Indiegogo because you're weird.
Kickstarter doesn't do businesses, but
So we also want to give a shout out to Tides of Infamy from Gamewalker LLC, which funded in about 4 days.
Oh, that must be nice.
Pirate game, which we play tested. It was a lot of fun. We want to give a shout out to Artem Savarov, who I believe was on your show a little while ago with Cauldron. Edo Baraf is up with Sibling Trouble, which is in its last day. Millennium Blades from Level 99 Studios. Smart Green Heroes from Smart Game Systems, which is interesting because that game was actually developed to teach corporate employees how to run like eco-friendly businesses, and apparently the game was so popular that they decided to market it to the masses. And we have the relaunch today of Food Town Throwdown from Argyle Games, where you run competing food trucks. Also, we have the relaunch of Dino Dude Ranch from Letterman Games.
Yeah, we had him on 2 weeks ago.
And he's good people. And that game actually demos really well. We've run it a couple times in a mall, and we've had like a family of 4 play it, and it works out really well.
Yeah, we thought it was a pretty metal name, but yeah, he's actually the one that tried to put our podcast on Board Game Geek, and well, podcast, I use that term loosely now, and they rejected it because we're a TV talk show. So at that point, we decided we were like Wayne's World.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I think it works. I mean, all the way down to the hockey jerseys in the picture. Get you a Ranger jersey. Is that baseball? Is that a pirate jersey?
Yes, it is. It's a Pittsburgh Giants. Neil Walker.
Nobody watches the Pirates. I don't know.
That's Neil. That is Neil Walker's jersey. Who, if he ever watches any of our episodes, he's my favorite player. So.
Yeah, nobody watches the Pirates, so I got
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I will delete this video from YouTube tonight.
It's all right. Nobody watches the Rays either.
Well, that's actually true, though.
Well, I remember last season the Rays had batting practice with like this 12 or 13-year-old girl who could throw knuckle curves, and she was striking some people out, man.
Oh wow!
So it just tells you how bad the Rays are.
Yeah, I mean they should probably sign her because
That's what I was thinking.
they let everybody else go.
I know how we can get our start in the majors now.
Go throw batting practice for the Rays.
Also, be a 12-year-old girl.
No, we don't need that.
Hey, I mean, it works for the Rays. I mean, for Tampa Sports, we had Menor Rayoun that was a goalie for the Lightning for like half a game.
Tampa Bay also had like the worst goalie ever, who let in the longest goal in history. Did you ever see that goal?
Yeah.
It's just like the Avalanche guy was just clearing it, and it just went down the ice, and it bounced right between his legs.
Wow.
It was awful.
I hate when that happens.
Hey Matt, send us the links to everyone in the IGA that's doing a crowdfunding campaign. We'll tweet them out tonight too.
Awesome. I'm actually I need to tweet them tonight anyway, so just watch my Twitter and I'll pop out and tweet them out.
Cool. Get them out to our followers too.
So has anyone asked us any questions, or?
Are we on question time already?
Yeah, it's about that time.
No questions on the YouTube. A lot of people like the idea of the Waffle House at the end of the universe.
I'm digging it.
And a lot of people seem to be liking the Space Tavern Tabletop Roadshow.
That I'm really excited about.
We could put keg taps on the side too, so we can just let loose of the space beer. The space
Where did you guys tweet the Tabletop Roadshow? I'm not seeing a tweet for that.
No, we tweeted it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You guys didn't tag me. That's the
I
problem.
didn't tag anyone, man. I was just
You
flying.
tagged me in the Waffle House at the end of the universe one.
All right, you know what? Hold on.
Correct ourselves here.
There we go.
Problem solved. Problem staying solved.
Oh, hey, my phone's going off. Somebody might be talking about me. I wonder who it could be. What's interesting is I haven't actually seen Tyler typing all day, all those whole time, and yet he's still tweeting. I think maybe the problem is that like in the Hangout, like my picture, like we're showing my camera, is like right over his hands. He could be doing anything back there with his hands that I wouldn't know.
All right, now he's giving you the finger. No, I'm kidding.
I'm certain. I probably deserve it.
All right, question time.
All right. One of our big questions we always ask is what got you into the tabletop world, Matt?
So I went to Wholesale, and it's a gaming design university down here in Florida, and I was going for video game design. And when I went there, they said that we were going to have a class where they were going to teach us tabletop gaming rules. And I thought, that's going to be incredibly boring because I love video games and I'm going to do video games. Well, the instructor of that class was Dave Arneson, co-creator of Dungeons & Dragons. And that was like spending a month like with Yoda, because he was just a badass. And, he really what got me kind of hooked on it, because, I was in the same boat that a lot of people were, where tabletop games are, Monopoly and Sorry, and Uno. And he showed me that there was a lot more of a world to that, and it was always something I was kind of interested in. And I kind of went off and did my own, did my own thing with video games and stuff. And then when I got out of school, I was like, oh, I'm going to go and get a job in video games because I got my shiny new degree now, and everybody in the world owes me a job. And I came to the conclusion that there are no video game companies that aren't EA in Florida, and that made getting a job kind of hard. So I got a bunch of consumer, doing programming for like point of sale systems and stuff. And I saw tabletop and volunteering when I was doing Steve Jackson as a way to get into the game industry again. And because I was just like to the point that I craved just being involved in the industry somehow. And I did that for a while, and I did for a variety of reasons. It didn't really work out, but I missed the. I wanted that in my life, and so I went looking for another company whose program I could join, and then that leads into the whole otherwise story that I told at the start. So,
Word.
That's awesome. So, what's a day in the life for you as the leader?
Well, I do still have a day job, which I'll have a new one next week once I get out to Orlando. But other than that, I get a lot of calls from our 8 mini bosses, which are they're spread out throughout the country and throughout Canada, and so they work with me to get conventions scheduled, let me know about upcoming stuff, ask me for games, things like that. Usually every day we'll have 2 or 3 calls with studios, whether it be on the phone or whether it be text conversations on Facebook or Hangouts or whatever else like that, or Skype call, something like that. So we do that. I do probably about once a week. I do a Kickstarter consult where I actually go through somebody's preview page and make a bunch of suggestions and so forth. At least 3 or 4 times a week, I like to personally get out and run demos. Going out to a game store or a con somewhere and doing that. For a while, at the end of last year, I really hadn't done that in a while. I was so focused on the administrative side of the alliance that it stopped being fun for a while. And I had to kind of remember that I had to kind of go out and be like, in the end, it's all about games. It's kind of like the old Walt Disney quote. We have to always remember it was all started by a mouse.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely never the same day twice. It keeps you hopping, and then we're constantly getting new minions joining or new studios joining, and we have to kind of help them get on board and so forth. Still a lot of development going on the new website. So yeah, it definitely has its ups and downs. It's definitely keeps you busy.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's it. You got anything else, man?
No, I'm good. Thanks a lot for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Well,
this has been another week of the Space Tavern Games talk show, which hopefully in the near future will get picked up by a major network and go on the road. So, join us next week, and we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Take care, guys. Thanks.